The street was quiet, unnaturally so, the kind of silence that pressed against your chest and made each small sound seem amplified. The houses stood like mannequins, neat lawns, picket fences, every window dark except for the faint glow of a single lamp in one upstairs apartment. Inside that apartment, Emily sat at her desk, her laptop casting a cold blue light across her face. She was tired, the remnants of a late night scrolling social media, her fingers moving absent-mindedly over the keyboard. Outside, a figure lingered in the shadows of the street. Tall, hooded, face hidden, hands tucked into pockets. He moved slowly, deliberately, never making a sound, always keeping Emily in sight. His eyes followed her every motion, recording, memorizing. Emily yawned and stretched, shutting her laptop. She crossed the room and pulled the blinds down. Outside, the figure lingered for a moment, tilting his head, then retreating into the darkness. The next morning, Emily went about her routine, oblivious to the car parked across the street with tinted windows, watching. Inside the car, the figure scrolled through her social media, pausing on photos of her laughing with friends, on her jogging route, the cafe she frequented every morning. His lips curled into a smile that was both excited and unsettling. Days passed, each one blending into the next. Emily began noticing subtle things, a shadow lingering just outside her window, the sensation of being watched when she walked to her car, a chill in her spine that had no reason to be there. Her phone buzzed with messages from an unknown account. Nice shirt. I hope you have a good day. You looked scared tonight. Beautiful. At first, she tried to ignore them. At first, she told herself it was just someone messing with her. But each message made her skin crawl. Each glance out the window made her heart race. One night, Rachel, her best friend, came over. Emily needed someone to stay with her, someone to watch over her in the hours when she couldn't shake the feeling of eyes on her. Rachel tried to joke, tried to make light of it, but even she couldn't ignore the unease that radiated from Emily. They double-checked the locks, closed every curtain, sat close together on the couch, listening to every creak, every sigh of the house. But when Rachel dozed off, Emily remained awake, scrolling her phone, heart pounding, listening. Then came the faintest sound from upstairs, a soft thump, almost like a footstep. She froze, staring at the ceiling, mind racing. Another thump, louder. She shook Rachel awake. Rachel groaned but finally agreed to call 911. By the time an officer arrived, the intruder was gone. The police searched the house, found nothing, boxes, insulation, nothing unusual. They left, leaving Emily and Rachel alone, but the camera, lingering in the attic, told a different story. Between the rafters, a shadow crouched, lips curled in a grin. He had never moved. He had never left. The days stretched on, Emily's world shrinking. She stopped going out. She cancelled plans. Her phone continued to buzz, the messages more personal, more knowing. She started leaving lights on at all hours, checking every corner, listening for the slightest sound. She even installed security cameras. But the figure was always careful, always just out of frame. He was there, always watching, always patient. One evening, Emily returned home from the grocery store. Her car pulled into the driveway, headlights illuminating the front yard. She parked, grabbed her bags, and froze. The front door was slightly ajar. Her heart stopped. She reached for her phone, but it was in the passenger seat. The door creaked as she pushed it open, and the house was silent. Nothing seemed out of place. She set down her bags, telling herself she was imagining it, but then a shadow moved across the wall. Slowly, deliberately, the hooded figure emerged from the kitchen. He had never touched anything, never made a sound, just watched her with eyes that knew every detail of her life. Emily screamed, bolting out of the house, bags clattering behind her. She ran down the street, calling 911, breath ragged, adrenaline flooding her veins. She didn't stop until she reached a neighbor's house. The dispatcher assured her officers were on the way. She looked back over her shoulder. The figure stood at the end of the driveway, perfectly still, watching, waiting. Then he disappeared into the darkness. For weeks, Emily lived like this. She moved between friends' houses, stayed at hotels, always checking, always fearful. The messages didn't stop. They were everywhere, always knowing where she was, always watching. Sleep became impossible. Her world became a series of shadows and whispers. Every stranger, a potential threat. Every glance from a window, a danger. Then came the night that changed everything. Emily returned to her apartment, hoping to gather some things she had left behind. She had convinced herself she could be quick, that she would be in and out. But as she pushed open the door, she felt it immediately. The air was thick, the scent of something cold and metallic. She froze. The apartment was silent, but she knew he was there. Slowly, carefully, she moved toward her bedroom. The bedroom door was closed. Her key hand trembled. She pushed it open. He was there, standing in the corner, hood down, face partially visible now, eyes dark, unblinking. He had been waiting, always waiting. She tried to run, but he lunged, knocking her to the ground. Her scream echoed through the empty apartment. Emily screams. He covered her mouth, whispering softly, almost lovingly, "Don't scream. You're safe with me." She fought, clawed, kicked, but he was too strong. He dragged her to his car waiting outside. Every door, every window, every street was familiar to him. He drove silently, the city passing by like a blur, until they reached an abandoned house on the outskirts. Inside, Emily was forced to the floor, her eyes wide with terror. The walls were bare, the air stale, the only light coming from a single flickering bulb.
He told her she couldn't leave. She was his now, always. "I'm keeping you safe. No one else will ever have you. You're mine."
Days turned into nights. She couldn't tell the difference anymore. She slept little, ate less, every sound making her jump. He never touched her unless he wanted to, but his presence was constant, suffocating. She tried to reason, to plead, but he only smiled.
"I'm keeping you safe. No one else will ever have you. You're mine."
Emily began to plan. Every day, every movement, every sound. She studied him, memorized his habits, waited for the moment when he would let his guard down. She found an old pipe in the corner of the room, hidden behind a crate. She waited until night, when he fell asleep, and crept silently to the door, trying the lock. Locked. She tried to push open a window. Locked. She realized he had anticipated everything. Panic rose in her chest. Then she noticed a small ventilation grate, loose, near the ceiling. She began working on it, prying it with her hands, shoving herself inch by inch through the tight space. Her heart was hammering, lungs burning, but finally she squeezed through and dropped into the night air outside. She ran, barefoot, over broken glass and dirt, the city lights in the distance like a beacon of hope. She didn't stop, didn't look back, until she reached a street with people, with lights, with safety. She called, a 911. Officers arrived and the house was raided, but he was gone. He had vanished into the shadows, leaving no trace. Emily's life would never be the same, her peace shattered, the terror of being watched, lingering like a ghost, and somewhere in the dark, he still waits, patient, always watching, always